stands out as a very odd one from Funky Freedom Fighters. What do you think?
It's definitely unique. It's different. Venomancer Core is a hero that's been, you know, he comes in and out of the meta every once in a while. He usually does really, really well. But you know, nobody really likes playing him, so eventually he just kind of falls out of favor.
This looks like it is going to be a safe lane, Veno, this game for Sing Sing, as they will be running the Razor of Arise mid.
Yeah, I think a lot's going to depend on this mid lane. I'm not sure. Like, it seems like Razor on paper does pretty well against Tiny Wisp, but I think after Tiny gets a couple levels, Razor can die pretty easily.
And the movement speed of Razor, not that overwhelming, 295. Of course, you can get unstable current, but it doesn't really compare to Tiny's move speed with a tether. We're going to see how that lane plays out. I think this time around we'll have Demon playing the Darkseer actually, so we're going to try to do what Funnick did very well in game number 1 in the off lane, but he has a way, way worse matchup than no.
Absolutely. Gyrocopter can almost solo this lane, so with a little help from Witch Doctor, especially if they cut the first wave and make sure that he can't get anything, it can be pretty big.
Demon at least manages to get rid of the Sentry Ward there, so gets himself some decent gold out of that with the experience. But already in the bottom lane, they're laying on some pressure here onto Demon, but Flat Cannon has been skilled by Silence, so can't really commit to that with Rocket Barrage. Just gonna hold the lane still. But this should be level 2 for Demon in a moment.
Yeah, he's doing well. I mean, it's weird when you go Flat Cannon level 1. It's like you want to push the lane out and not let the creep wave affect you too much, but Flag doesn't really do that much level 1. Like, your auto attacks don't do that much damage to creeps. So, if they had like a better block, it would have been a lot easier to zone the Darkseer with the whatever the first spell's called. Rocket Barrage, sorry.
It's getting a bit late here.
Nah,
We still got another best of 3 to go, so we're good. Mid lane, Resolution gonna get open on with Arctic Burn as well as the Static Link here from Rise, so looking alright in the mid lane, looking pretty even. In the top lane, of course, we do have Funny on that Shaker, as you mentioned. Actually already managed to get 5 CS up against a Veno Lina lane. That's very surprising to me. I don't know how he managed to do that. So good start for him as well. Shouldn't be expecting too much more farm for him to come out. Actually, he might be in trouble here if he isn't careful. He'll be stepping back.
Nothing.
He might actually just die if they hit a Gale. But Beaver Knight didn't try for it here.
Yeah, he's playing super risky, it seems, but he must have a sixth sense about where Lina is.
He does have a TP, but he doesn't have mana for it, so they didn't even need to time the Light Strike array correctly. Could have just gone for him. He does have the mana now, though. Managing to get level 3. Chance Totem for another Sia. Gets another one here, and then Yapster with the pull should be bringing the wave back into a good position. And that's the really risky thing for Shaker here. The hero in the offlane can generally find some levels by just Fissure blocking the wave and pulling it back, but he doesn't have mana anymore. The wave is now in an awful position for him, and he probably just has to retreat entirely.
He went boots first, but it seems like they missed the connect on the pull here, so there's going to be a little bit of a double wave coming at him. It's not too bad. It's 1 extra creep.
And there's a double wave for Empire as well.
Should be fine. We'll save the wave.
Bottom lane Demon managed to get level 4 actually already against this Gyrocopter Witch Doctor lane. That's really surprising to me. I don't feel like he should be finding this much in the offlane on Darkseer. Of course, it's a hero who can very easily transition into jungling. They do already have, that's a triple stack, I think, on their hard camp that he can take. They can also give it to Razor. What do you think?
They can give it to Darkseer. I'm not sure how much more Darkseer can lane down here. He's doing okay, but you kind of want your Darkseer to be farming. He's kind of just like leeching experience. I guess he's getting a couple CS here and there. I expect him to go to the jungle soon, and then if Empire decides to push the lane, they'll have like a support go down there, whether it's Lina or Winter Wyvern. Keep the creeps off the tower. Looks like they want to contest top rune. They're gonna 3-man that though.
There's no way in hell IO's gonna go for that one. We'll try for bottom instead, of course. Seeing this can just cross down. No Fear is guarding it very well. Demon moving in here might force them to... No, he's gonna be too late. He can't get it.
So Tiny's still farming mid lane like really well. I'm not sure if that was MFF's goal, was like shut down Tiny in lane, or they just wanted a hero that was kind of good against Tiny throughout the game. But their plan was to shut down his farm. They are not succeeding at the moment.
And at the same time, they're trading farm on a Veno for a Gyro. Top lane, there's going to be a good Gale connection here, and that should be the first blood onto Funnick. Will go to Sing Sing, finally punishing him up here in this top lane. He still has managed to get level 4 though, so I don't think Funnick is going to mind this too much. There's also going to be a pretty big wave pushing into his tower. He can TP and claim that XP.
Yeah, it's
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
somebody's got to die eventually. Or Shaker is probably like the hero to do it too. He's like no defensive capabilities other than Fissure, and if he gets galed, it's pretty much all over.
Lane. Bit of pressure in mid. What do you think about this opening for Resolution in terms of his item build? Going for Bracer and then into a Build of Strength, obviously, for the treads. Do you think there's that much need to emphasize health here? Is there anything better he could have gone for?
I think it's fine. He'll just get the treads
Dire's
and
bottom
then
tower is under attack.
start to do stacks in the jungle. Probably go towards Blink, but that being said, it's not the best Blink game. He might just rush an early Ags.
Yeah, that's one thing we haven't talked about so much. MFF's lineup, I think, scales really poorly into the late game. Razor is okay in some games. There's a Gyro and a Tiny he can steal from here, but Veno gets really hard countered by BKBs. And Empire have plenty of good BKB carriers. At least all 3 of their cores can use them very well.
Oh, stacks are being stolen here.
Oh, that's big from MFF. And if No Fear walks out here, he could even be in trouble. That's the shortest static link I've seen ever. But they did manage to get quite a big portion of this. Demon gets level 5. He's trying to cut around here, be a little cute with getting experience. Will succeed as well.
Yes.
Not too bad for Monkey Freedom Fighters in this early game.
Yeah, it was okay.
Gold is pretty much even. They've got a bit of an experience lead, mainly because of the Darkseer compared to Shaker. Speaking of which, Shaker will try for a Fissure block top, but Sing Sing was on the right side of that, so he didn't get caught next to the tower. 17. Okay, that's a stat.
Is that not the build he's going for right now?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay.
It's 1, 2, 3. Standard. That's good.
I see a lot of Venos
Radiant's
these days that
middle
just,
tower is under attack.
you know, they're just like, I don't want to get skill wards for now. They get like 3-3 at level 6. I'm just like, what's happening? The wards are just so good, and it really super good against Shaker. It totally dissuades Tiny from going with Blink. And we talked about how squishy the analysts talk about how squishy MFF's draft is. But if Tiny doesn't have a Blink, it's not it's not the worst thing. Like they won't just get like Blink comboed instantly by Tiny, so they may have a chance to fight.
Demon gets caught out here. This cooldown is off the mark. Actually, Demon runs back into it, so he will get killed after using his wall. But even with him dying here, I still think Demon has done a lot. He managed to get quite a big portion of both of their stacks. Actually, almost single-handedly farmed the stack on the left. So he is level 6. And I do believe they gave the stacks to Arise in their own jungle, so he's also level 7.5.
Who did the stack on the hard camp here at the bottom? Was it Tiny?
Both the hard camps on Empire's side got taken by Darkseer.
Oh, he even took the one on the left.
Yeah, exactly. He got almost all of it, so
That's pretty big then.
it's pretty good. For Demon, it's 1,000 gold lead as a result. They also have a tower, so I guess that kind of makes it even in that sense. But now this mid lane is starting to be a little bit scary for Resolution. The Plasma Field being level 4 just puts so much pressure on Tiny, is forcing the IO to stay here. He's currently going for the bottle, or for the rune rather. Got a bounty rune. Rotating back into mid.
Let's see, what items is Sing Sing going for on the Venomancer?
Midas.
Midas, okay. This next item could go Ags, could go.
What do you think about Combat Veno?
Combat Venom, like some treads, maybe some
BKB,
S&Y.
Butterfly, S&Y, Satanic.
Not the biggest fan.
He's got decent
but
agility.
I'm sure Sing's been saving his favorite Venom build for a while.
Yeah.
No, I think he'll just go Ags. Ags Blink
Probably.
seems like the appropriate decision. I'm just interested to see when they'll rotate. Like, when can they take this Veno and just like move to mid and then start pressuring that tower or bottom somewhere.
That's a good point. Being level 8, this is generally where Venomancer starts getting really scary, and getting it so fast by playing it safe lane should really allow them to put a lot of pressure. They could leave the Winter Wyvern up here solo to get level 6, and then put Veno to push either bottom lane or mid. I agree 100%. Nah, bottom lane, No Fear is going to take a lot of damage. He will be dying here, so Rise is actually TPing out next to an Iron Shield creep, and This is not the fastest of games we've had, but feels pretty good for among Freedom Fighters. Let's just say that Silent textbook rotation to the top lane will be combining with Funix Shaker, Fissure into Calldown. Very powerful combination. Wyvern can't really do anything.
Yeah, big play. Kill the top network there for Dire.
Radiant structures are fortified.
They do get a little bit of a trade-off on pressure in the bottom lane.
Wyvern's got his soul lane now, so...
Yeah, now he got it. I was just playing all along. Let's see where Sing Sing goes when he respawns. He's going for... He's got an Aquila... Wait, is that... Yeah, Tranquil's Aquila. Think about that.
In cold, there is comfort.
And now he goes
Going mid.
Oh, Laguna Blade. Not even close to killing Resolution, actually. Just gets kept alive here by Overcharge.
Bottom tower is under attack.
That's a big cooldown wasted, and now Sing Sing just poured it in here. He just poured into his death. And they might even be going further on the Absol here. If a couple of spirits hit with the urn, this could be enough. He doesn't have any mana, but dodging the spirits pretty nicely here. Still doesn't matter. Here comes
Clouds behind.
the Gyrocopter. And meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Demon as well as Arise have found one. They managed to get down Resolution, but No Fear with a good TP out. Could still be losing his tower. Oh, there's a relocate. Arise is in a lot of trouble, but there's actually no one being brought with the IO, so they can't go for... Oh, good fissure there for Funix. Now Demon on the run. Will be getting out. They have nothing to catch him, but they still defended their tower. They got a key kill on this Razor for Shaker. A lot of gold down his pocket. Probably going to see a sub 20 blink, I guess.
Yeah, probably. I mean, he's farming relatively well, even though he did give up the first blood.
Has been denied.
Sub 20. I don't know about sub 20 minutes. We'll see how much he farms from now.
GPM of 200 from here on out will be enough. Actually, even less. Just a little bit of jungling. Do you think at this point on Empire, how important is that Blink Dagger compared to, say, getting the Tiny really farm? Like, if you could give Shaker one double stack and he could get almost a Blink minute
that's
16
definitely worth it. Like, prioritizing a little bit of farm on your Shaker to give him that Blink, then he can kind of back off farm for the rest of the game.
Yeah. Let's see if that's what they do. It looks like they're going to smoke first, so Shaker, of course, with only the Fissure ready, no Echo Slime, but still such a great combination with the Gyro. They might be able to find an angle here. An angle.
Yeah, that one Venom death mid was huge. Like, he just ported mid, he was like, alright, I'm gonna start pressing this tower, and then he was dead.
Now that they're looking to do it again, Empire do have really good defensive abilities. I think a lot of the times when we talk about IO, people focus so much on the tether ability and the relocate, which is of course important, but spirits are really, really good for defending towers. Got a big damage output. Call down. The bottom lane, they found Demon. He has pretty much no escape route here. This kill will be going to the Gyro. And at the same time, IO actually managed to get the bottom rune going a little bit toe-to-toe here with Kebab on the Wyvern, but this is a fight IO is definitely winning, forcing out the Winter's Curse, but rotation from Yapsor will be getting it with Laguna and Dragon Slave. So Kebab baited him just long enough for the rotation to come in. Still, they're not taking this tower, and I just feel like, looking at MFF's lineup, it's kind of on a clock. Have they got enough?
It's tough. I mean, they don't have great, like, it's hard for them to just, like, walk in and hit a tower. They have, like, Venom wards, which, you know, aren't very good at pushing towers. And then they're like walking into Fissure, they're walking into Witch Doctor Cask, Call Down. They don't have those, they don't have that kind of like initiation. So
I guess the key hero to look to is Demon. He has to get the mech for the Dark Suit, has to get levels up in Vacuum so they can fight kills.
Their lineup's just missing. It's missing that like that catch. And like sure they have relatively good team fight with Darkseer, Venomancer, and Wyvern, but how do they force a team fight? If Empire says we don't want to fight, I mean, they don't have to fight.
And it's a little bit surprising too when you look at Empire's order of drafting. They went IO Tiny in the first two. It's very clear against that duo that you need some sort of catch. They have Winter's Curse, I guess.
I think what they wanted to do is just like, they wanted to team fight. They'd be like, hey, let's just, you know, Tiny Wisp, you know, Russian CIS Dota, like they're going to fight us. Let's just, you know, let's pick some heroes and fight them. But you know, Empire doesn't have to play like that. They can just farm and go late game, and they're gonna win for sure.
And you're just seeing a tendency here. Monkey Freedom Fighters are putting so much emphasis on mid that they're just getting slowly but steadily out-farmed on the lanes. 2 lanes being pushed out by Empire. Actually, Demon might have found an opening here for his team. Gets the wall off. No vacuum being expended just yet. It's level 2. An IO without boots might be a victim here, but Resolution gets a good toss. Actually, now Demon gets just killed off alone. His team couldn't catch up. And well, the distraction does give them a tower, but at the same time, the trade-off happens in the top lane where Funix, if he gets this last hit, almost already has his Blink Dagger at minute 14. And he is... Oh, not getting it. No, not actually die. He stuck around very long there. Laguna Blade, Relocate coming in. Echo Slam is buying the time necessary, I think, for Funnick to get out. Survives with 20 health, another rotation coming in from No Fear as well. Beautiful player from Empire, taking on multiple fronts. They find 2 extra kills here that they didn't actually even go up there for in the first place.
Yeah, they're crumbling, man.
This is looking very good for Empire.
It's a very frustrating position for MFF to be in. Like, they know they have to force these fights, but they just don't have any ability to force the fights.
And now the fight might be forced onto them. Call down, actually whipping entirely, giving some good vision and forcing a TP out of Sing Sing, but it's ultimately just going to be a bit more farm here for Gyro. Kebab now flying into the tree line to get out as well. So they get 2 TPs for the call down, the defend their tower, keep farming. What do you do if you're MFF? Do you have any chance of thinking about Roshan, maybe by just spamming some Plague Wars there for 20 seconds straight and then maybe trying that?
Maybe. I mean, I guess that could be an option. I'm not sure it's the most effective option. I think finding a team fight somehow is ideal, but...
What if they force it by going Roche? Then you have... Then they have to
force
go
it by going Roche. I actually don't think Empire has to go to Roche, though.
No, they could just give them an Aegis and be like, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they'll just keep doing what they're doing. It takes them so long to push a tower. Like, if MFF had maybe a Jakiro instead of a Lina, they could, you know, hit the towers with Liquid Fire and be like, alright, we can actually push a tower. Or like a Rasta or something. But they don't have that. They just, they kill towers so slow, they take objectives.
That's the Blink Dagger. Minute 16. For Funnick, he's also level 10, by the way. Good level to have on an off-planer minute 16 as well.
Razor's
So
being chased.
looking good. Yeah, this is not looking good for Monkey Freedom Fight. Actually, good Surge. I'll be keeping him safe here. They could try for Demon, but no one's able to catch up. Sound with the double damage posing a threat. Probably just be clearing out this top creep wave, I would imagine, with Black Cannon as it walks by.
Ags Venom could be big if they get that fight. Which, maybe going high ground is how they get their fight. But good luck going high ground. It's
Good luck surviving this combo coming in. Very quick kill for Empire. He doesn't even get to get that ultimate off. Pretty good combination onto Aloha Dance. He might die to the Plague Ward. No, he gets some bit of urn healing up, and it might actually be enough to keep him alive. And they also find Yapsar, of course, in the back line. He needs to earn again, and he's going to be just fine on the IO. So 2 kills for nothing. They keep trying to put on the pressure. It seems like the kind of game where if MFF don't succeed in the next 5 minutes, there's almost no hope of winning. It's just very early to call it, but it's such a one-dimensional draft from them.
It's getting pretty dark really quick for them. Not too many options. Venomancer does almost have Axe though. He's like, 1,000 gold away, which is...
But Tiny's ahead of him, even though the Venom has a Midas.
Yeah.
So both Tiny and Gyro leading the net worth board quite clearly.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
There goes the tower. It goes to, actually the Witch Doctor will be claiming that. No Fear gets a little bit of extra bank.
I think
Aghanim Scepter, Tiny.
The analysts were a little bit on edge about the Witch Doctor pick. I think it was pretty okay. It's like some safe split push. Like he's pretty good at clearing waves actually with Task, and also the heal overall is just very, very good against Venomancer. Heals everyone, so
yeah,
not many heroes can do that.
Was Dazzle in the pool?
Dazzle was banned.
Okay, so LC probably would have gone.
Yeah, that would have been a good replacement.
Well, looks like game's just going to continue as it has over the last 5 minutes. Empire building advantage. Monkey Freedom Fight is looking for kills, not really finding too much so far. Is there any key items? So Yapsar almost has a Yule Scepter, which
Yules could be big.
That's a catch.
Sub
Still
catch.
needs to come in close, but at least it's a secondary setup apart from just having Windsor's Curse, which they haven't really managed to land that many of.
Razor's headed towards the BKB. Darkseer's got his mech. They're pretty underfarmed.
Denied.
Oh, Blink on Darkseer is another possible catch, I guess.
Yeah, it's something.
Not single target catch, but
Something better than nothing at this point.
But Empire just has so good warding. They know they're in a good position. They know they can make aggressive plays if they want to, so they have 2 aggressive wards in the dire jungle. They're watching rotations. They're watching if heroes are going on their own, so they can just find relocate pickoffs. At the same time, they're split pushing as well in the bottom lane, forcing some sort of answer here from MFF to the bottom. Actually, Sing Sing is committing a good minute here to farming 1 Ancient Camp. This Plague Ward's taking very long.
And he just really wants to finish his Ags without dying again.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Speaking of which, good play Cork drop. Should be alright. The Resolution's doing the same as Sing Sing, just doing it 3 times as fast. With the help of IO, quickly clearing those Ancients. 2100 gold. Is this just an AC game? Do you think you, by the nature of the enemy lineup, do you go BKB first? After Ags? Or?
On the Tiny?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely not go BKB this game, although it seems like it might be a good BKB game, but as soon as you go BKB, the Wiz can't tether you, and that might...
Or you use it after tether, obviously, but still.
That's true, yeah. It's an okay BKB game. I think he can just go AC. Like, they can he can just keep going damage and keep split pushing, or just doing whatever he wants to do.
Yeah, with the logic in mind that it don't have to fight, just go for a farm build and get 6 slot as fast as possible.
Yeah, he can maybe go for a BKB as his last item.
Yeah. Alright, there's the Ags. Let's see if MFF can find the opening they're looking for. Doesn't look like it right. Alright, there's a pretty good Poison Nova onto 3 actually, but is there any follow-up? Which is Curse is available, they will find Funnick on the side. This should be a kill even through the Witch Doctor heal. That does not heal that much, and Funnick will die. They're trying to deny, not possible, and actually because of that, Noper's in a really bad position. This is a secondary kill here.
Alright, there we go.
From your Freedom Fighters, get a little bit. They lose their tower to Tiny though.
I actually didn't see those 3 heroes blow the Venomancer, and I saw him as soon as he got his Ags, he clicked his ult, and I thought he just like airballed it. Yeah, I was just like, I was like, oh no.
That's all right for Monkey Freedom Fighters. I guess at this point you got to take what you can. And
yeah, I mean that's, you know, they haven't been able to force a fight in forever. They got 2 kills there. They lost their tier 1 tower. Not the end of the world.
But now the question is, how do they get out on the map? The first thing that comes to mind for me is buy a gem. They have to remove all the map control from the split pushing team so that they feel uncertain about their split pushes and that you can find openings. I wouldn't mind seeing Sing Sing buying one right now, even after he got a lot of gold in that fight, but it just seems like any item he gets won't help if they can't set it up.
True. I think he's probably looking for that blink dagger, but gem could be a good choice as well.
Maybe they're going to buy it on Yapsar. He actually has Yules and another 1100.
True.
It's BKB on Gyro. It's very farmed. It's this 21-minute SNY and BKB, 200 CS.
It's been all over the place, but he's been just like running the map, farming wherever he wants to farm, pushing lanes, and just kind of doing his own thing. Echo Slam on mid.
Goodbye. Very easy and quick kill here for Funnick. Onto the Lina. Now Demon actually sticking around for some farm, and that could just give them an extra freebie. They have the potential to jump in here if they want, but of course with Fissure on cooldown, they don't want to commit.
They've got that ward there, they know.
Yeah.
They get...
That would have been too risky. They couldn't trade a 1-for-1 that's not really that good anyway. Better farm. Split push continues. Resolution should be able to afford this AC within 2 minutes. And we still haven't seen Roshan. This might be one of the slowest Roshans of the tournament, actually. 22 minutes, not even been contested yet. Of course, the natural issue here is MFF don't have a good lineup for taking it, and Empire don't need to take it.
Yeah, the lineup's also not super great. I mean, somebody had like a medallion, but medallion's kind of an item that's fallen out of favor as well.
I feel like it's a good item against Tiny.
It's okay.
When you turn it into a crest, mainly.
Yeah, that's a lot of gold though for somebody.
Yeah. See drum being used. Resolution. Was looking to maybe try to engage on a rise, but thinks against it, walks back here.
Try to smoke. They're
That's
going.
a smoke. Yeah, MFF.
They're out.
They gotta start doing something, but it's being read here by Empire. They might have seen it with their ward in mid. Nothing gonna come off this either from MFF. Let's see Lina use some gold. No, actually, never mind. She just lost a lot on that death in mid. Wow, she must have lost like 400 gold. So that kill that Shaker got on her. And the steady climb continues. 7,500 gold now. Team Empire. Experience pretty much the exact same. And there's the blink for Veno, and you just... I mean, we've been harping on it so much right now, but is there anything, now that you're seeing the game develop, is there anything better MFF can do right now? Like, apart from just losing this tier 2 tower in 5 seconds?
I think they gotta start like baiting heroes maybe? Like bait your Razor, bait your... I don't know about your Venomancer, bait your Lina maybe, and just see if Empire will jump him, and then maybe you can jump in with your Venomancer.
Yeah, they were looking for the smoke play to result in a tower and bottom. They barely did damage and they lost their own tier 2 to Tiny. They forced CPs back. And Empire, with a very successful rotation here, just going back into the enemy jungle to farm. Now TPing bottom with Tiny, continuing this. I'm even starting to see MFF. This is the second time in this game, I think, that Arise is using Eye of the Storm to just farm. Because they just simply can't fight the fights. Well, they're fighting a little bit here in mid, but who's actually fighting who? Yaps are just getting blown up. Now, Arise does come in with the ultimate. It's dealing a lot of damage here from the Gyrocopter, and this is a pretty good ultimate from Kebab as well, but it's just going to get torn apart by Punic, and the IO keeping the Gyrocopter just fine here. 224 damage actually stolen by Arise, so there's 0 damage being dealt by Silence Gyro. It's only for a short while until they could consider turning around on this. There's, of course, a 5-on-3. Venomancer using his ultimate onto the Gyro. Is there a relocate? There is actually one. No, he doesn't manage to get the tether off. Oh, never mind. He relocated in the Tiny, sorry. So he's going to go and just get a couple of return kills instead. They did get the Gyro, but it's going to cost them dearly here. Razor's down. This is a dead Venomancer as well. Resolution unstoppable. Maybe on the hunt for more. Can't really get to Demon, but yeah, Empire just playing a stable game. MFF trying something special here. We're not really seeing it work.
I think they're playing really, really well. They like identify what they need to do this game, and they're executing perfectly.
This tower is gone. Kebab has a Splinter Blast in the tank to harass a little bit, but it's looking so easy for Resolution to take care of these buildings, and he's got a lot of money, and it will be the BKB now, actually, by the looks of it, so it might be the go call for Empire, get that BKB, go Roche, and then try to end the game. But if this was it is a really important game for them. It's an elimination game. Do you think there is no looming threat further down the line where they're like, okay, maybe now is the time?
Let's not take this late game against Razor Theno cores.
But by nature of how this team likes to play, they probably aren't here to mess around. They want to go to bed, get some rest before 2.
Don't they have another best
Actually,
of 3,
yeah, that's right. They have another best of 3, so that's why they want to end it so they still have some energy left for that best of 3 against Vega Squadron. Should be a really hard matchup for them as well. 300 gold to go for Resolution, so I'm imagining we'll see this BKB turn into a Roshan attempt for Empire. Or maybe even earlier. Of course, Funnick rocking the Force Staff now as well. I didn't think we mentioned that. He has the gem that they bought on the Witch Doctor, so the first gem purchase was by the Radiant. Still not seeing any coming out from MFF. While they're trying to smoke, it gets broken immediately by the invisible Shaker. They're pinging it out, can't do anything about it. Dust comes out too late from Demon. Man, they're trying, but it's just not working right now.
Yeah, they keep making some plays, and I feel like they're getting the short end of the stick on a lot of them, but overall, I don't think this draft is appropriate to win a Dota game. But
what do you think of Rise's build up here? He went BKB first on Razor, expecting to fight Empire. Hasn't really got to fight much. He's now going Yasha, SNY probably.
I would expect the SNY to be finished up.
Does that help at all against this? Like, I guess it's easier to keep your static link running when you have all that movement speed, but
yeah, it tanks him up a little bit too. It's fine. You kite the Tiny a little bit, maybe.
Isn't this just the time where you go Desperation Mode, you buy an Axe, and maybe try Axe Refresher and just go push? Because, like, playing a carry Razor isn't going to work this game anyway.
Yeah, I mean, that would be an option as well, but I don't know, man.
But
this game is just, they need to win a team fight. They need to win, like, 2 team fights in a row.
Well, look at Resolution. Now he's feeling confident with that BKB in hand, and might be forcing a BKB out of Razor. He will. They can relocate away if they want to. Demon blinking in. Actually, Resolution just trying to kill while being static link. Doesn't give a damn about this. Of course, Tiny, one of the heroes that can still deal damage even after losing so much. He will find Kebab here if he gets the toss off. He will. So BKB's traded off. Empire do get 1 kill, and now they might have found a good opening here on Yapshor. He will dodge the first call down missile with that Yules, but he's not even going to get a single spell off as Resolution just walks in and hits him. Meanwhile, Babe, I don't keep calling him Babe Knight. That's happened a couple times. Beaver Knight, Sing Sing finds the kill on the Shaker in mid, but kind of a small consolation after what they just lost.
Yeah, it's a big cooldown. Yeah, it's still worth it though. I mean, they got the kill on Shaker when he was like porting out, so he burned the battle wall to get the kill. That's it. It's, definitely better than getting no kills. Razor survived there. I thought they were going to take that fight because Tiny's BKB was getting lower and lower. but they decided to kind of like half fight and half not fight, so maybe a little bit more together. The fight could have gone better.
It's like Monkey Freedom Fighters know Roshan is up and they want to fight for it. 4-on-4 situation. No Poison Nova though, but they still have the advantage in numbers.
They cannot let them have Aegis.
No.
Like if Tiny gets Aegis and he can survive a Venom ult, there's like they're just gonna lose all their buildings.
They're trying their best to push out the lanes. They did manage to push out mid a little bit here. Gyro's obviously going to make that very quickly go the other way. Putting this out with 3 flat cannon shots. Already at that amount of damage with this build-up. Looking to counter ward here. The gem, of course, helping out with that. What are you going to do now? Monkey Freedom Fighters, they've got to do something. They still don't have Poison Over for another 30. They might have to try to commit everything else and just see if they can make it work with maybe a blink back wall here, but there's good vision from Empire. They're going to back him on the cliff. That's not too bad here from Demon. Relocate is available, but it doesn't look like he won't be getting it off. Here's the Tiny Illusion's actually clubbing him to death. Oh no, actually, does find a hero to tether down to. That leaves Resolution up here for a while. Did kill off Demon. They're trying to look for Kebab here. A lot of damage being stolen by Arise. Now he's going to turn it on to No Fear.
It's a relocate.
2-for-1 exchange. Relocate. We'll be bringing Tiny back to base. I think, actually, no, aggressive relocate. Instead, they're going onto Arise. Of course, he has damage stolen, but not from the Tiny. Because of that, Resolution can be running down Arise here if he wants to. 10 seconds on Avalanche. Won't be making it. And, well, if nothing else, Monkey Freedom Fighters delay the Roche, but they don't get it unless there's a big play from Sing. Good damage. We'll be killing off the IO. Now Resolution has no escape route. He's going to die to this Poison Nova, so all things considered, I think if you're an MFF, this is probably the best you could have hoped for.
Yeah, that was good.
Call down?
Maybe next team fight.
Blank?
Yeah, that's good. I mean, Empire.
Gonna get
ahead, but
instant replay from the Score Esports here of that fight onto Roche. We do see the rotation here. Lina gets spotted out really early, and the Shaker just isolates her away from the fight. So they manage again to just make Yapsar a non-factor. And here's the call down.
Yeah, I was hoping Kebab would freeze the Darkseer there, so he wouldn't take any physical damage from Tiny.
Yeah,
but he's more he's pretty focused on killing the Wisp, which he almost did, which would have been a pretty big deal in this team fight.
Yeah. Not sure if there was any buyback on the Wisp to relocate back in. Regardless, they have to try to play for it, right? And Yapsar actually, he did end up surviving, but couldn't really commit very much into that fight. Toward the end, did get picked off. So, MFF, all things considered, holding that Roshan probably fine. I'm still looking for the win condition in this game. I think the Venomancer's next item is going to show what their state of mind is for what they need to do. It is going to be the Octarine core for him. So lower cooldown, of course, a lot of lifesteal from that Poison Nova. But it's one of those weird situations where when you have this Octarine core, the cooldown goes from 60 to 45. You still only get one in a fight.
True. But I think one's all you need.
So you would have gone to something else than Octarine?
Oh, I mean, no, I think
Hex for catch?
Octarine's all right. I mean, Hex would be cool. That being said, I think like one Venom ultimate on the right heroes is enough for them to win a team fight. This hero does so much damage.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
There's someone else on the field who also does a lot of damage. It's Resolution with Kiras and Moonshard. He's got ridiculous attack speed right now. He hits twice a second without overcharge, and he is not scared to show it off. So he's going to go right into the Dire base, actually, without Aegis here. He's at the front line together with Gyro. Every cooldown for Monkey Freedom Fighters is available. They're actually showing up pretty late here. Beaver Knight's going to drop out his ultimate, doing good damage, but he's already lost his life. The question is if there's any teammates that can do anything. Demon trying to help out, but BKB popped by Resolution just makes him pretty much immortal. They are going to get the kill on the Witch Doctor, but that's the only casualty of war here for Empire. Gyro didn't even need to use BKB. He's just going to run into Arise, hit him a couple of times here, force him back with his MKB proc. And Arise, well, he's going to do what he can, but this base is just in shambles.
It's Tiny, man. What a hero.
All right, there's another barracks. Let's just continue here for Resolution. Why not clean out the entire base within 40 seconds? And Demon with a last-ditch effort doesn't get a single spell off. Blink Echo, GG. Empire, they kind of threw away game number 1. Game 2 and 3, they did not mess around.
Yeah, they played really well. I really liked how they played this game. I think this was the biggest outdraft of the series, but you know, they deserved it, and hopefully they have a better game against Vega, because when they first matched up against Vega, they were very outdrafted, and it led to them, you know, looking pretty bad in that one game series.